Hello, smart investors all over the world. Welcome to Real Estate Made Easy, your number one YouTube channel where we educate you, where we inform you about real estate investment by giving you pro tips, guides, advice, and warning so that you can make the best of real estate investment decision with ease and peace of mind. If you are frequent viewers on this channel, thank you so much for joining us live once again. And if you are seeing this video for the very first time, welcome to Real Estate Made Easy. Do well to go through our playlist to understand our previous different interesting and exciting episodes, and also do well to subscribe to this channel and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss our subsequent videos. Today I have an interesting topic for you as usual. How Nigerians in diaspora can make money from property flipping. Something is set into almost every investor, and the goal is to make money. So whether you are in Nigeria who is based in Nigeria, or you're a foreigner entirely, or you're a Nigerian in diaspora, you want to understand the new concept which has made many people to be multi-millionaires, even in dollars. And that concept is known as property flipping. So you want to understand, why are the big guys today known as big guys? What made them to be so big and to be so rich? It's the simple principle is property flipping. Many of them have learned to acquire property and then they learn to flip. But let's start from the basis. Let's start from the definition. What is property flipping? Property flipping simply means you buy a property at a low price in a strategic location, adding more value to the property, then later selling that same property to make huge profit, to make maximum gain. That's as simple as ABC. That is as simple as come and eat. Come and eat is simple, right? It's actually very simple. Now, so I hope you understand the meaning of property flipping now. Let me explain again. Property flipping by definition simply means you buy a piece of land or acres of land in strategic locations, or even hectares of land in a location that you know or that you have envisaged that this area is going to boom, is going to really sell later on in future, and then you buy at the very low price, that is at the entry price, then you maintain the land, you add value to the land, then you sell it. That's the summary of property flipping. But in this video, I'll actually give you pro tips, I'll give you insight on how to actually go about it. So first and foremost, now that you've understood the definition of property flipping, the question then is this: where are there particular locations to start that you need to consider? Research has shown that emerging cities tend to have more room for growth in terms of property flipping. And in Nigeria, you talk about places like Abuja, you talk as Lagos, you talk about Port Harcourt. Now, of these three cities, Abuja and Lagos, there are a lot of migrations and expansion, making that location to be a prime area for property flipping. So our focus basically in this video will be centered on in Lagos. Why Lagos, you may want to ask? Lagos simply because Lagos is the commercial nerve of Nigeria, and Lagos is a mini Nigeria in which almost every Nigerian is represented, if not every citizen of the world being represented in Lagos State. So Lagos is actually an ideal place you want to consider for property flipping. Now that you've understood the location as the basis of where you need to consider property flipping, another thing number one thing you must do for if you really want to make money from property flipping is to do an extensive research. You really need to research the area of your choice. Even in Lagos, where in Lagos are we talking about? Are we talking about Badagry? Are we looking at Ikorodu? Are we looking at Epe? Are we looking at Ibejideki? Are we looking at Victoria Island, Ikoyi, and the environs? So you really need to tailor your research to a specific or certain regions of the state that you know have one, presence of governments, two, migration of people, three, opportunities for businesses and for leisure. These are the four sites you must actually have when you're looking for a place that is more suitable for you for property flipping. And if you are looking at some of these locations I've talked about, look at Badagry for instance. What will make you consider Badagry for a property flipping? You want to look at, okay, the tourist attraction in Badagry. You talk about the Badagry slave trade and many other important landmarks. So if you are looking at, okay, government also is already indicating interest in that region. So before everybody's eye open up to that place, because people are looking at the island, looking at the Beijing, looking at Ekpe. If you really want to consider Badagry, then you really want to research more about Badagry and look at where are the places that you can actually still buy property at a very reasonable price, far below the market price, and then you add value, then you sell. Or if you want to come to the island, particularly the Lekki Epe Axis corridor, this area no doubt they have shown the clear signs that every smart investor actually need to look out for before embarking on property flipping. But when you want to talk about the property you want to flip, you are also looking inwardly at what you call land banking. What is land banking? Land banking simply means you buying a land to bank on. What does it mean? You are buying a land to sell later in the future. But a flipping aspect of it comes that you buy today, you sell the nearest future. So if you really want to buy a property you can flip and you want to come on the island, then you need to look at emerging cities on the island corridor. Now, if you are looking for a property to flip and you are considering places like Ikoyi, Victoria Island, you are looking at places like Ikeja, those areas know that they are also good because you can actually buy properties, even Lagos Island. You can buy property in such location and in the next 2-3 months you can flip the property and make huge profit, even though the profit margin will not be like you doing land banking. Because land banking is a concept that you buy a land, you add value to it as usual, then you leave it for years to come, basically 5 years minimum or 10 years and above. But if you're looking at property flipping and you are looking at your own core objective, then like I've earlier said, you can go to our previous playlist and look at the concept of investing in real estate. Different strategies you may actually want to use. So if you're looking at land flipping in an urban area, in an area that is already well developed, then you must also consider that your budget must also be very, very reasonable. Because if you want to flip property in Ikoyi, you want to flip property in Victoria Island, you want to flip property in Lagos Island, these are already cities that people are already living. Businesses are already sited. Conglomerates are already sited. So if it is not a new or upcoming area, it's already a developed city. So it actually makes sense to buy property there and flip if you have the means. But then you must also have enough capital to actually transact in that terrain. For instance, you are talking about Banana Island. A plot of land Banana Island, billions of naira. So if you're a Nigerian in diaspora and you're considering investing in Banana Island and to flip property there, then probably you must also have a huge budget in several millions of dollars. Then if you're also considering places like Ikoyi, Victoria Island, Lekki Phase 1, these are also areas that cost multiple millions of naira to invest into if you want to flip property there. That is a place you can buy today and in the next 1 month, 2 months, 3 months you want to sell and make some profit that is realistic, that is vegetable, that comes with peace of mind. It's possible. But if you really want to maximize the essence of property flipping, you want to look at emerging cities and use the concept of land banking. In this case, you want to look at places like Bejuleki and Ekpe corridor. On the island, these are the emerging cities that instead of you using all the 500 million naira to buy just a plot or two in places like Ikoyi or Victoria Island, you can buy an entire hectares of land in a place like Ibejuleki, in a place like Ekpe, with genuine title in a strategic location. And these hectares of land, by the time you divide them into plots of land, you can sell each plot in the next few years for multiple millions of naira. Then, so you already know. So number one concept you must do is to research extensively where you want to consider your property flipping. You also want to consider what is known as what? Due diligence. After ensuring that yes, you've considered this location makes sense to your need. It makes sense to what you really want to do. Government is there, infrastructures are there, private enterprises are already booming. So the demand for job will be on the high rise in those locations, and then demand for accommodation will also simultaneously be on the high rise in those emerging cities. You have considered those locations. Then another thing you want to research is to actually to do your due diligence, because even if you are buying low, because the concept of property flipping is to buy low and sell high. Simple. You want to buy when the property is very, very small in terms of the amount of money you use to acquire it, and then you want to sell when the margin is huge, yet profitable to you, yet gives you peace of mind, yet gives your buyer also peace of mind. So in this case, you do want to ensure that you buy right so that you can sell right. Because if you buy wrongly and then you want to sell right, it can lead you to colossal loss. So what you need to do is to ensure that you conduct due diligence. You must ensure that you buy from the right source, from the right owners of the property. If you are buying from an individual, ensure that that individual has the right to the ownership of that property. Hence, he or she can transfer the same ownership to you after making your payment. If you are buying from Omonile or family, ensure that the family also have the right to the property in question you want to buy. So it's not just about the fact that the property is cheap, it's also about the fact that the property is genuine. Also, if you are buying from a company, also be careful that that company also has acquired the property genuinely from the rightful owners, and that the company also has the right to sell the property to you. Because in land transaction, in property transaction, when the root of ownership is missing, successful owners cannot claim ownership to the same property. So you must ensure that the person selling the property to you has the right to sell the property to you, and you are buying directly from that same person. That's number one. Two, often it's not enough that the person has the right to sell the property to you. You also want to confirm that the title to the same property is also genuine. Because if a family claims to be the owner of a property, and because they've been there from time immemorial, and because government also understands ancestral ownership, that does not mean that that land is truly could be theirs, or that land could be free from acquisition. So you also want to search from the land registry, from the land ministry, to ensure that that property is under a government acquisition or is not. So that you don't end up buying government property from a property company, or you're buying from an individual or from a family. So you want to ensure that that property you want to buy is free from every form of encumbrances known, either be it from Omonile, be it from family issue, be it from government issue, that the land is free from every form of encumbrances. Then you have, that means that you your due diligence, you will be sure that you've crossed your teeth and you've dotted your eyes. Another thing to make best gain for your money if you are doing property flipping is to actually add value to the property. You need to add improvement to it. So if you have acquired plots of land or acres of land or hectares of land in an emerging city or emerging location, you want to ensure that you do not just stop at just buying and making your payment. You want to ensure that you add value even as little as adding a perimeter fence to your property. First, that ensures that the property is free from intruders, because once there's a perimeter fence, whoever wants to go into your property actually breaks through that fence. So it's a clear breach of trespass. So it's so clear that whoever decides to break your wall or break your gatehouse to enter the property, that person deliberately entered the property not due to ignorance. So you have a right to seek for redress. So if you add value to the property, it makes it to be sellable faster and quicker. Again, another thing you can do to that same property to add value to it is you can, like I've said, you can add perimeter fencing, put gatehouse. If the place is bushy, if the bush is not too much for you to clear it. By the time you clear, if there is no road leading to that place, add road to it. All this infrastructure, you are not doing it for doing sake. You are not doing it because you are Father Christmas or your Mother Christmas, or because you are charity owner or you are charity giver. No, it's because you are adding value to the property, and each of the expenses you've spent on this property, you will add them up by the time you want to sell. And whoever wants to buy the property from you will be ready to buy. Because imagine now, in the location where you've acquired that property in an emerging place, your property is the only property that has street lights. Your property is the only property that has electricity, that even the owner can start immediately to connect his own wire and start living, if at all the person decides to do so. Or it's only your property that has access road, where other people are still waiting on to government, or they are doing this, they are doing that. So what do you think will happen to your property? Your property will be of higher demand than every other property in that environment. And definitely you price it higher too. So you want to ensure that you add value to the property before you tend to flip it. One, it ensures that your property sells higher and gives you higher return on investment. Also, by the time you want, the pro tip again is this: by the time you want to sell the property, ensure that you engage the property of a reputable, a trustworthy rental and real estate consultant, so that these people will be the ones to help you to sell this property. These people already have the knowledge of the market's prevailing price, so it will be good for you that you are not selling below what is obtainable in the market, because they can tell you from the point of knowledge that, oh, your property is worth this value now per plot. So by the time you want to sell a plot, they will help you to look for buyers, and then they sell on your behalf, and then you give them the desired reward. You are happy, your buyer is happy, your realtor or consultant is happy. So it's going to be a win-win situation for you. So with this, hope you know, as a Nigerian diaspora, that the best time for you to actually invest in property market in Nigeria, as far as Nigeria market real estate is concerned, is now. You want to use advantage of the current exchange rate disparity with Naira, and ensure that you buy in an emerging location in acres of land, not just plots of land, because you have the means to do so. With £50,000, you can buy acres of land in strategic locations. With $100,000, yes, you can buy land in strategic locations. So you want to start taking inward as to where you want to position yourself ahead of time, and not where you want to keep blaming the government or lamenting Nigeria is Nigeria is that. If you think people are not investing in Nigeria, or if you think Nigerians is not working, ask from those who can testify that Nigeria is working. You just also need to contribute your own quota. And by the time you do this, you are actually helping yourself, because while you are there, your money is working for you back home. There are many Nigerians in diaspora who are investing back home heavily, and while they are there, they are earning their return on investment. I hope you gain value from this video. If you find this video very empowering, very informative, very educating, please, if you are yet to subscribe to this channel, kindly subscribe now and turn on the notification bell, so you'll be the first to know when new videos are uploaded. Also, please feel free to drop your questions or comments in the comment section of this video. Also, do well to share this video with your loved ones. Until I come your way again next time, I remain your award-winning realtor, property consultant, property advisor, Belkalid of Belkalid Consults Nig Ltd, your award-winning real estate company with proven track records of excellence, committed to giving you nothing but the best of value. Do enjoy the rest of your day.